with regards to risk, what are people getting involved in, and what are some of the examples where you've, come up
Yeah,
against
sure. Yeah. And then I'll share with you the two questions that are the two main ones that I get asked as well. So back in the day, 2008, it was people having access to databases without us having the control over it. So that, some programming work got done, we didn't have access to it, so we lost that work because the freelancer disappeared. So we were doing a lot of freelancers and at home, and that's can be the biggest risk, because if they shut down communication, how do you find, you can't find that person if you're not saving your data in the cloud. Then, because back in 2008, it's very different. I mean, technology here is great. So that's the number one question we get asked from clients is our data safe? Data security, data privacy. And that's where, if you're asking that question, you need a team member in an office. So for example, if a client comes to us and says, look, we really need a high level of security from you, then we actually put them into what we call a PCI compliant office, which means that team members have to use biometrics to enter that space. The computer systems have no USB on them, so no information can be taken off the computer. There's no mobile phones allowed, no pens or paper. We advise the clients that the team member only uses their email, the client email address, and that all the data is saved on one of their databases on the cloud or on their server as well. So nothing is saved within our environment, and nothing can leave that office space as well. Now, all our team members, before they can be hired from us, they're doing a medical test, they're doing a drug test, and we're getting a police clearance as well. So actually the level that we take is a lot higher than what any small business operator would be doing in Australia as well. The second question I get asked around risk is credit card fraud. So for a small business operator, often you want your VA to do research and to make payments on your behalf as well. Now, I'm very happy to say I've never had any credit card fraud, but it is a question, and so there's always ways around to safeguard yourself. So, for example, I'd say to a client, have a separate credit card that your VA uses with a smaller amount on it, and have it set up with the bank that whenever there's a transaction, you receive an SMS message. On my credit card, if it's over a certain value, a code gets sent to me first. I can see what it's being used for. I then send my code on to my VA. Then that way I can question it as well. And that's where having a service provider to work in with can answer all those questions for you and help you safeguard around any of that risk, which is actually exactly the same risk that you don't have in Australia as well.
That's awesome. I reckon you smashed that one right out of the ballpark.
Oh, good.